cardiologist UK എന്ന് വരും. ഇത് Dr.Anjali Hooda, ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്നാണ്. രണ്ടാളും പിന്നെ ഒരാളും കൂടി വരാനുണ്ട് രാത്രി എത്തുള്ളൂ. അവരോട് ഇതൊക്കെ പറയാനുണ്ട്. കൊടുക്കാം തുറന്നു.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a real honor to be here. It's my first time doing a public engagement in India. I've spoken all around the world in many countries, based in the UK originally, but it's a real pleasure and honor to come to my mother country. I was born in India, I was born in Delhi. And my background, as many of you may know, is I'm a cardiologist, I'm a campaigner, I'm an activist. Recently being made Professor of Evidence-Based Medicine, and really tomorrow, and the subject of some of the conversation today, is really to try and offer solutions to the real public health crisis we're facing with the increasing prevalence of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, which is causing considerable damage and harm to the health of millions and millions of Indians. It's not just about getting that condition
in Delhi. I was educated in the US and I moved to Delhi 5 years ago. But I think it was a good thing because right now we are at the boom of diabetes and obesity in India. We walk with a high BMI or a normal BMI but a very high fat percentage and mostly insulin resistant. And so some things like the kind of diets we should be propagating more are not well accepted by most physicians. And if you go for a simple consultation, a doctor tells you that go do a diet and exercise. For diabetes, I have myself reversed many. I tell you when the patients get off the medications, they're very, very happy. Yes, so carbohydrate intake, so let's say first meal of your day is carbohydrates. You will automatically feel hungry for the rest of the day because your first meal will set the tone of the day. Now let's say you just had a fat and protein combination. Let's say cheesy eggs or a coconut chutney and some meat, something like that. You will not feel hungry throughout the day because protein and fat are more satiating than carbs, and because carb attracts the carbs. So more carb you eat, the more hungry you feel. So we were talking yesterday that if you must eat carbs, that should be in the night because then and also good carbs. We're not talking about the starches, refined starches and all. We're talking about whole grains and stuff like quinoa or brown rice, like Kerala rice. That's very famous up north, at least in my surrounding, it's very famous. That matta chawal. So if you must eat, then eat the carbs at night because in the night you're not going to be awake to be hungry. So this has seen with lots and lots of patients. Protein. In fact, there's a person in America, Tim Ferriss. He's written a book about 30 grams of carb in the morning as your first meal. Protein. Sorry. Yeah, so 30 gram protein in the first meal is going to really work on the weight loss and how your day goes. Because
that's one thing. The other thing in India, particularly in Indians and South Asians, is that we are more vulnerable. We're 4 times more likely to get diabetes than Europeans. And this is a major problem in Europe right now. So think about this. And we're eating sugar and a lot more carbs, refined carbs. So we are much more vulnerable. And also, there is no such thing as a healthy weight. So in the West, we keep talking about obesity, which is defined as a BMI of over 30. But up to, in India, probably about 50% of people with type 2 diabetes aren't even classified as overweight. Forget about obese. They have a normal body mass index. That doesn't mean they're healthy. It's about body fat percentage is more important. It's waist circumference, you know? So this is the issue. If you've got a bit of a belly, it's likely you've got insulin resistance already. And how many people here can say they've got a totally flat stomach? I mean, raise your hand. Who's got a totally flat stomach in here?
രോഗമുള്ള ചികിത്സ എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ മാത്രമാണോ ഡയറ്റ് അതോ എല്ലാ ആരോഗ്യമുള്ളവർക്കും മറ്റു അസുഖങ്ങളൊന്നും ഇല്ലാത്തവർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെന്നില്ല ഒരു മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞത് ഇത്ര ആൾക്കാർക്ക് പറഞ്ഞ ആരോഗ്യം ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. നമ്മള് ഒരു പ്രമേയമൊക്കെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്ന രക്തത്തിലെ ഷുഗർ കാണുന്ന അതേമാതിരി ഹാർട്ട് അറ്റാക്ക് ഒക്കെ വരുമ്പോഴാണല്ലോ രോഗമായിട്ട് കാണുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഇതിന്റെയൊക്കെ എത്രയോ കൊല്ലങ്ങൾ മുമ്പ് തന്നെ നമ്മൾ രോഗിയായി തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നില്ല. ഇൻസുലിന്റെ അളവ് ബ്ലഡിൽ കൂടുന്നതാണ് യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ രോഗം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്. ഹൈപ്പർ ഇൻസുലിനേമിയ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇൻസുലിൻ റെസിസ്റ്റൻസിന്റെ ഒക്കെ അവസ്ഥ. അത് നമ്മൾ ഇൻസുലിൻ പരിശോധിച്ചാൽ തന്നെ അറിയാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. പെട്ടെന്നൊന്നും പുറത്തേക്ക് കണ്ടോളണമെന്നില്ല. ചെറിയ അളവിൽ കുടവേറൊക്കെ തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ മനസ്സിലാക്കാം. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു 30 വയസ്സിന്റെ മുകളിൽ മിക്കവാറും ഒരു 80% ആൾക്കാരും രോഗികളായി തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ ആൾക്കാരെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം പ്രമേഹവും ഹാർട്ട് അറ്റാക്കും വരാതിരിക്കാനും ഒരു പ്രിവെന്റീവ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലും ഈ ഡയറ്റ് ഉപകാരപ്പെടും. രോഗം സുഖപ്പെടുത്താൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രമല്ല, രോഗത്തിലേക്കുള്ള നമ്മളുടെ ഒഴുക്കിനെ തടഞ്ഞു നിർത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല.
Issues about stents. If you're having a heart attack, okay, you're actually having a heart attack, then stents can be part of a life-saving procedure for sure. Okay, but if you haven't had a heart attack, okay, you're just diagnosed with some blockages. The data is again very clear. Stents do not prevent heart attacks or prolong life. But 88% of patients in a survey, when asked, thought they were having the stent procedure done for the very purpose of preventing a heart attack or prolonging life. And 43% of cardiologists, when asked anonymously, said they would still go ahead and do the procedure even if they knew it wasn't going to benefit the patient. So there are lots of reasons for that. There's a cultural issue, there's a financial incentive issue. I know in India, I've got lots of cases of relatives or friends of relatives, they contact me and I'm just shocked by the level of communication by some cardiologists in this country. From what I've heard and data there, is absolutely shocking. It is absolutely shocking. And that again needs to change. So you asked about alternatives, yes. Listen, medical therapy has a role. Things like aspirin, there are certain medications that definitely have some benefit.
തടയാനോ അവരുടെ ആയുസ് വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കാനൊന്നും സ്റ്റെന്റുകൾക്ക് വലിയ പങ്കൊന്നും ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് പുതിയ പഠനങ്ങളൊക്കെ തെളിയിക്കുന്നത്. മിക്കവാറും ഈ ഇത്തരം ആൻജിയോപ്ലാസ്റ്റി ചെയ്യുന്നതൊന്നും തന്നെ യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ ആവശ്യമുള്ളതായിട്ടല്ല, മറ്റു പല കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടാണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരുന്നത്. രോഗിന്റെ ആവശ്യത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടല്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് പുതിയ പഠനങ്ങളൊക്കെ തെളിയിക്കുന്നതാണ്.
Become more insulin resistant. So at some point, even if people feel they're great now and they're exercising lots, I've seen ex-athletes who are on very high sugary diets as they're older, and then suddenly they have a heart attack. And this is always brewing, than so it wasn't so visible for them when they were younger. So that's one thing. The other thing in India, particularly in Indians, is how eating sugar and a lot more carbs, refined carbs. We're talking about obesity, which is defined as a BMI of over 30. But up to in India, probably about 50% of people with type 2 diabetes aren't even classified as overweight. Patients are not told this. You add on top of that the side effects, which can be considerable. And one statistic is in America, about 100,000 hospital admissions every year because of side effects of diabetes medications. It's a complete mess and it's completely unethical. I mean, this is not just a nuance. We have a complete system failure here in the management of type 2 diabetes. And we have to correct it. Because clearly what we're doing at the moment, the establishment and doctors, if they were doing the right thing, why have we got this increasing problem? Why have we got increasing premature death rates from heart disease in India? Something is seriously wrong and it needs to change.
ഈ LCHF ഭക്ഷണം താരതമ്യേന കോസ്റ്റ്ലി ആണല്ലോ നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയെടുത്തോളം. അപ്പോൾ അത് ഒരു സാധാരണക്കാരെങ്ങനെ അഫോർഡബിൾ ആവുക എന്നുള്ളൊരു വിഷയം.
I think the question was, it's costly to afford this kind of diet. It's not costly at all. I think egg is the cheapest and the best protein. I think one egg costs 2 to 3 rupees maybe. Yeah, not very expensive. Then eating fat, coconut is in abundance. Wherever you go, I think coconuts are falling everywhere. So then non-veg is quite cheap also, like chicken, fish. Fish is you have the sea. Fish is cheaper. So in protein, in fact, what is most expensive is the vegetables. Getting good vegetables is most expensive. It's very hard to get the right vegetable because the more you go into the mandi, there's all pesticide and everything. I think the protein and the fat is cheapest in I think all around the world. What do you think?